faceless void.
Dire team are now picking.
Alrighty then, hello and welcome to the, I believe, first game in the series for the Reddit Dota 2 League Season 10. This is in the EST Monday bracket. And we have today on the Dire side, in loving memory of Hyde, who did choose first pick, and Question Mark, who chose Radiant in the lobby. On Question Mark, we have Mr. November, Cookie, Master 99, Space Dandy, and more. Memory of High, we have Game, Sexy Steve, Lala Time, Oops, and Moop. Early on bans, obviously the very standard Shadow Demon, and once again, the Techies ban in this. Oracle being banned out, very standard, obviously, as well as the Ogre by Mr. November. Those are very standard bans for him in this league. And first pickup, they grabbed, in loving memory of High, picked up the Invoker. That will, let's see, I believe Sexy Steve is the one who generally plays that, but I may be misremembering. And the Faceless Void Keeper, somewhat of an anti-combo, really, on the Radiant side. Obviously, I mean, as long as you're careful, it's totally fine, but Bottles, Blinding Light is one of the few spells that can knock allies out of Chronosphere. Not that you typically want to use it inside Chronosphere anyway, because then you don't get any of the benefit, but, you know, just gotta make sure you're not doing it at the same time. The Drow is banned out by the Dire afterwards. Interesting choice there, since there's already a melee core. Generally, you don't see Drow pick up if there are any melee cores in line, but that is something that Volatile has decided to go ahead and get rid of. Followed by the Beastmaster ban. Beastmaster, as with Invoker, easy Sunstrikes, follow up with Kunkka, plenty of easy setup there by using the Beastmaster and another strength hero to really be difficult to get through in terms of HP, especially for a keeper support. And particularly if the Faceless is an offlane, chooses to go more of a utility build. Omni Knight being banned out by the Dire. I can see getting rid of it for the sustain, because you always have the Keeper mana into Chakra Magic into Double Purify, as well as later on the heal if Keeper gets an Ags. When Keeper gets an Ags, if it goes late enough. And generally just a difficult hero to really get through. And in particular, he's a very strong hero against Invoker, who depends pretty much exclusively in the early and mid game on his spells. Slark banned out by the Radiant. Slark is actually okay to go up against as a Faceless. Like, you have a way to escape from him coming in onto you, and he can't purge Chronosphere. But just something they don't have to deal with, especially with the Keeper. Like, Keeper would just be for the Slark. Line is picked up next by In Loving Memory of Hyde. That's a support that has not been really too heavy in the meta recently, but I still love playing him. I've been playing that hero since like 0.78, 0.77, way back in 2013. But just all around, got a lot of good stuns, got some good damage, slow speed, low ranges, but what are you going to do? Bounty Hunter is picked up then by the Radiant. Still sort of lacking in damage so far, but the Bounty does give them the ability to snowball very hard off of just one or two one-team fights. You do really need one... you really need two, actually, these days, with the constant nerfs. And it's a lot harder for him early on to keep that track spam up, now that it is 75 mana over 50. And the Night Stalker is picked up. Obviously, this is to counter out the Keeper of the Light, who, if you do get the Aghanim's, will have the extra healing and vision during the day, in which case Night Stalker will very easily just turn it off whenever you're pushing up the hill.
Reserve time.
And we'll see how Radiant choose to pick up this next hero as they move into their reserve time. They still need mid and safe lane, maybe mid and off lane, depending on how they choose to play their faceless. I suspect, given what I remember of Mr. November's drafting proclivities, I put that in the off lane. But the way he drafts it may have changed. So, given that they're going to be against an Invoker and a Night Stalker for the safe lane, got a BKB builder, maybe a Juggernaut. Juggernaut can be really strong here, but of course with the Blink Hex vulnerability, it's not really the option you want to go for. At the same time, he can get out of X early and doesn't really worry too much about Night Stalker's early rotations, so it could actually be really good for them. Go ahead and grab that Juggernaut. And then later you can get the Manta and not have to worry so much about Lion or Night Stalker with the silence. Excuse me. But Mission November is going to move to the latter half of his time as he ponders the pick. How would the Dire team come together? They've got their mid, they've got an off lane out of Kunkka Night Stalker somewhere. Could be a safe lane, probably mid. A roaming Night Stalker and an off lane Kunkka, or the other way around. Okay, so OD is the pickup the Radiants are going to grab. Or the question mark, rather, are going to grab. I think that works well for them. There's so much mana sustain. So normally Bounty Hunter has a lot of difficulty getting off the tracks these days, or using or spamming Shuriken. But Outworld really having Outworld and Keeper both really changes that equation, so they can sustain as long as they get an Urn or a Vlad, then they can really just keep sustaining a push indefinitely, really, until they start losing heroes. So the ban coming out of In Loving Memory of Hyde is going to move into the reserve time. It's got to be a safe lane for the Radiant coming in. They do ban the Timber Saws. Maybe they're thinking it's going to be a safe lane Void. I would put money on it being off lane Void just because of who's drafting this, but we'll see how that goes. And the Lifestealer rather is banned out by question mark. Lifestealer, yeah, Lifestealer could have been good for them. Like, he doesn't take the extra damage from Outworld Devour, and if they're picking Juggernaut here, then they don't have to worry about Juggernaut being the counter at either. Some other BKB picker like Phantom Assassin or something could show up or whatever, but
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
See what he chooses to do. He's got 15 seconds left to pick, so
reserve time.
Not much
10 seconds.
In our way but to wait.
5 seconds remain.
Fudge. Okay. So there's the Juggernaut is what's picked up by Hyde. Outworld Devour can't right click them. That's their opportunity there. Fudge and Mission November is playing. It's just gonna be a mid. It could be a mid Pudge, but I'm actually because if Cookie's playing. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and take a look over in. Oh, they're TPing back to mid already with a lot of smoke, but they're just TPing out to mid. We'll go ahead and say on RIP, Oops will be playing the Juggernaut in the safe lane. In mid lane we'll have Lala Time played by the Invoker, and Moop will be playing the off lane Night Stalker. These two supports will be played by Sexy Steve on the Kunkka and Game rather, on the Lion. On the off lane we will see Cookie, so yeah, that's generally where he goes. Space Dundee Praise the Sun will be playing a roaming Bounty Hunter. It'll be a mid Pudge being played by Mr. November. And it looks like a safe lane combo, Master 99 on the Keeper of the Light, and more on the Outward Power. Nice icon there. So we'll see how they choose to set up here. These wards got down nice and early on the Dire sides. They're able to see a lot of what's going on without having their heroes in the area. Bounty Hunters up there on the hill. They might know Bounty Hunters up there on the hill. They may not have ever gone down, but Well, did they do anything else with those CPs besides just get out? No, only one ward was put down, so I guess they just both went to ensure that nothing poor happened. Space Sandy Praise the Sun is going to be seen here, and it looks like, oh yeah, he's going to get caught out by the Torrent. No further plays going down. Juggernaut does get the rune off the back of that, but Mr. November gets his own rune, so he's going to have a slight gold advantage versus Lala Time in lane. Judging by the amount of gold that he came into lane with, he's going to have his bottle much earlier as well. Praise the Sun just going to be here, say, you know, Lala Time, you got to be careful. And this is not going to be the easiest lane that you have played. 4 sentries actually had already been picked up, and I see a Sunstrike being thrown out just to pick up a couple ward battles over here, just to pick up a single Elastic there. But honestly, this early, you're unlikely to really use it for anything else. That may very well be the way to play rather. Cookie back here, just already abandoned his lane, basically Lion Juggernaut, no way in hell. I mean, you could maybe make it happen, but just more efficient to go ahead and get your level 2 here, and then you're able to get the time walk ahead. So, Dandy Praise the Sun is in the area, but there's already another sentry down, and still one more available. He was able to. These 2 sentries were able to get dewarded simultaneously in mid lane. And Praise the Sun doesn't really know where the sentry is, but it's not been revealed yet. Neither Lion nor Oops has. Take a look at what's happening here in the mid lane. Time has gotten his Forge Spirit up. Mr. November, though, is nearly at his level 3, so he will have that hook reaching across the river very soon. A little bit later on it then, his lane opponent given Bounty Hunters early rotations. Now there is going to be another sentry going down. Almost perfect vision around the area. Oh, and Rip Game just walked in. Praise the Sun is going to not quite get picked up. He actually moves back the other way and out of sentry range. So just the supports playing around up here in the top lane. I would say this definitely is in favor of... He denied himself. Okay. I would say this is definitely in favor of question mark, since Bounty Hunter is getting XP here and trading his presence for the presence of 2 supports. So very much in the favor of question mark. Lala Time, meanwhile, has gotten his Basilius taken out. And yes, the bottle has come out for the Pudge, plus quite a bit of gold on the side. Take a look over here. How is bottom lane going? More just Astrals up Moop, who only has 2... doesn't have a silence, only has his 2 points in Void, since he is level 3 at this point. So he's been zoned out fairly effectively. Moore's actually ahead of him in XP. Just on the cusp of level 4. And doing a good amount of damage with that Astral Imprison. Let's see, he does have a Mango, but that's just going to be an easy one lane if there's no rotations for OD. Praise the Sun, still just harassing and really just annoying the supports of RIP. But they have managed to pull away this XP, but it really doesn't matter because even though Bounty's only getting like 20 or 50% now, 40%. I know that was changed in 6.88C or E rather. I don't recall exactly what it was changed to. We take a look over here. Cookie, it appears, has managed to finish off his own Ancient stack and is headed back towards this camp over here. So just rotating between the camps, not even bothering to try to do anything else. Master 99 is going to be approached by Moop, who does a fair amount of damage to him, but he has support in the area, and his group's just going to go down. Moop, though, immediately getting this Bounty Rune, and the Lion Rune is controlled up by Rip Game. Then he Praise the Sun is going to come start harassing him, gets 2 good right clicks off onto him with that Orb and Slow. And that means Mr. November is going to have his empty bottle to deal with. Looks like there's a dive here under... Oh, and the Sunstrike not quite going to make it. That was dodged out, but doesn't matter. Rip Moop is going to be able to right-click down the D for First Blood. Now, at this point, it's got to be just some right-clicks out from Master 99. It's the only way he's going to make anything happen. But Rip Moop is going to be able to go ahead and back off right there. He does have just the Vision of the Pudge with that Catapult. So, if Mr. November can guess this correctly... Oh no, he's just gonna walk up to him. That'll be it. No hook required, just walk into him and right click him down. Meanwhile, however, Lala Time is gonna get some XP in the mid lane. Up to level 6 now. Where Pudge is still like 200 XP away. And Rip Game this century has gone down. This one's still up, but where is the Bounty Hunter? The Bounty Hunter's moved all the way to the bottom, just turned down the sentry. See if there's any vision around. And Cookie has completely abandoned that lane. Now he's going for the hard camp in mid rather than head back up to just. I mean, really, Kunkka Lion, Juggernaut, you're just gonna die. So this is definitely the right decision. As frustrating as I'm sure it can be to jungle on Faceless from basically level 1. And hook goes through, but it does hit up the Forged Spirit that was sitting on top of Lala Time. Praise the Sun is going to come in and right click him once, twice, just get him slowed down. Now Mr. November is going to move in onto him and get the ult off, just walk up to him. Invoker is taking, he just managed to get the damage off. He is going to get a return kill on Mr. November with Sexy Steve and Rip Game TPing in. But 100 gold for 169, a little bit of XP. I would say that that is definitely in favor of question mark, if only by small touch. Meanwhile, I did see that Bottle had died down here. I presume to the Faceless Void, or not the Faceless Void, to Moop. And now Moop has been astraled up. There's no Q yet on Sexy Steve, who walks by Moop a couple steps and then moves away. So that is that. Take a look at last hits. Very much the Dire are ahead on their 2 primary cores, but I think Radiant might be ahead over. No, they're not ahead overall, actually. Certainly not. So this is definitely, as far as last hits are concerned, it's in favor of the Dire at the moment, as well as kills. So Dire have a nice early little lead here. Smoke coming out by Rip Game and Sexy Steve, who is able to get his X off. Now he's throwing down the Torrent. Mission November is taking a lot of damage, and with this Earth Spike, they are able to hold him in place long enough. He tries to rot himself to death, but gets right-clicked by the Lion for the final hit. Meanwhile, Cookie still farming up, has finished a poor man's shield, working towards whatever sort of boots he's going to grab. And at this point, actually, he's able to do okay just remaining up out and farming there. Rip Moop is very low on HP, and that'll be the shuriken to finish him off. There's an X onto Moore rather. Oh, and the Chrono just on the very edge. There's going to be an Earth Spike, but only hits onto 1. There's, unfortunately no way for Cookie to get in, but it doesn't matter. Praise is able to get that 90 million mile right click off. Or right click off, rather. Sexy Steve, however, does manage to walk away. So 2 for 0 in exchange for Chrono and a TP. I would say that's definitely in question mark's favor. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mr. November just flicking on his hook, thinking about whether he wants to do it. Trying to get Lola time to be afraid. Nah, he's just gonna back off and go grab the top ring. It looks like. Take a look at top. It looks like Oops is pushing in. Doesn't have his Aquila. Is skipping that entirely to get his Battle Fury. So just gonna have to kill that wave with his Q, and that means he's very vulnerable if he gets caught here. There's gonna be the Hex. Oh, but it doesn't matter. He's just on these lashes. He does get stunned up though, so that might be a really that's definitely gonna be a dead Juggernaut in exchange. Definitely not worth. Unless he was able to buy out. He did not buy out. So. Very good quick TP response in by question mark. Meanwhile, however, they do lose the mid tower to Lala time. Take a look up here at Rip Game. He does have some more sentries available, as well as that wind lace, so he can actually, move as fast as any other hero. Excuse me. And a couple of smokes available for Sexy Steve, but Oops, once again, gonna go ahead and Blade Fury down the creep wave, but this time he's just gonna back off and not push into the tower with that. Take a look down here. Moop is just waiting for the next nighttime. He's gonna get Chakra leaked, and that means he is gonna lose everything. He's just gonna continue running away. He does not want to get caught out. Looks like Moore has moved up to top, has his own infuse raindrop. Sexy Steve trying to get close enough to get that X off, but not quite able to get in range for. Excuse me. Oop. Going into the trees. Rip Game able to get that sentry, not sentry, that invisibility rim. That move? No, that's more. My bad. And looks like Nice Stalker did die at the rune. Probably he got mono-leaked again. But overall, oh yeah, okay, never mind. They didn't actually lose any heroes at the rune, so yeah, tried to go get the rune and ended up dying, probably to a mono-leak. Oops, nearly has Omni Slash back again. So that's probably going to be his cue to go ahead and push in a lane, but actually it looks like he's backed off to the jungle. He's very close to his Battle Fury, so he's just going to excuse me. He's just going to use this time to farm up creeps and get that in relative safety. Excuse me. So Master 99 coming from the area, looks like, yeah, getting it as Strangles up there is going to be a Pudge Hook and Fresh Meat onto Kunkka. Able to get that kill out very, very quickly. And he has his Earn Up, has several charges, just taunting across at Rip Game through the creeps. Meanwhile, Invoker is farming up over here in the jungle. Net worth, definitely the lead goes to the Dire at the moment, or RIP rather. And looks like Lala Time has very nearly finished his drones. That's going to be his first major item. At the same time as Oops has his Battle Fury on the way out. 11 minutes. Very good timing. Like, very good timing. And on top of the net worth chart besides. But even so, Lala Time is keeping up with that Midas. Oh, Mr. November just got a haste rune. That's going to be very useful here in the next few minutes. And we see a smoke coming out from RIP. They're going to move in here onto the bottom lane. Unfortunately for them, the only hero here is a Bounty Hunter, and they have no detection available for that. So even if Bounty Hunter were to reveal, it wouldn't matter because they don't have anything, excuse me, to show him. But it looks like they are just going to get this tower for free. I think that question mark are entirely content to take top instead. One more Omni Slash used, and Pudge coming through with that haste rune, but unfortunately he's headed the wrong direction. Yeah, he's decided that Juggernaut went a different way, but Juggernaut just went back to farm. Bottom tower, meanwhile, has gone down. RIP definitely getting the better of this set of, not quite exchanges across the map, but skirmishes. And Oops just, oh, the instant TPs. Okay, so a Chronosphere for 3 TPs. If they don't lose anyone, that's probably worthwhile. Moop, meanwhile, has been tracked up. And he's going to join up with his friends. Oh, across the river, the hook just barely hits Rip Game. The Dismember doesn't come out in time, so that is going to be a Hex on it, but it doesn't really matter. There is no rotation. Praise the Sun is seen through a sentry. There is going to be an X marks the spot, but no torrent follow-up because of the Mono Leak. Another hook across the river by Mr. November, and that'll be the end of Moop. So good job on his part with those not even blind hooks across the river. Very well played on his part. Go ahead and take a look over here. However, even losing those two heroes and with the kill lead in favor of question mark, the two most farmed heroes in the map are RIP. I do think there might actually be, it's 0 net worth right now, difference between the teams. And that just comes off because their supports are, well, their supports are the same. It's just Night Stalker. Yeah, the supports are the same. It's just Night Stalker is fairly under OD in terms of farm. Or, I guess, fairly under Pudge. Or he was off lane. Fairly under Cookie. Moop is farming up this fairly effectively. He's got phase boots. Interesting choice. Not something you usually see on the Night Stalker. Typically you see the strength treads, but phase boots can be good. Farming up the jungle there with Iron Talon. Does have detection this time around. Rip game also with 2 types. Also with 2 types of detection. Just checking for a rune ward there rather. DD picked up and used almost immediately. There's going to be an Omni Slash, and just able to get him away. That's going to be the track, as well as the Blink Show on Pudge, Blink Dismember, and even an Earn Charge to heal up Master 99. We did just barely survive that engagement. Not for Tranquil Boots, he never would have. 2 armor. GG. 2? No, 3. So, what is Kunkka getting here? Not entirely sure. Generally, I would expect a Blink Dagger, but we'll see how it goes. And Night Stalker's still farming up. He's got a Cloak as well as a Windlace, so he's very slot tight right now with his item choices. However, none of those slots are particularly expensive, so 2 smoked up heroes here for RIP. They're beating out with a lot of time, trying to get some sort of rotation, but it's just not going. Cookie actually is being pinged to get away. He tries, but he may be caught up by an X here. Oh, he just got out of vision. Meanwhile, however, there's going to be a kill near the top rune. Another hook, not even dismember used in that kill. Regen used up, and the scan does see Lion walking through, so they know that Dire is still in the area. And looks like question mark are going to start condensing on them. A 4-staff 4 by Moore. Mr. Number throwing a hook, unfortunately guessing a little bit incorrectly there. Cookie could just pick up the chrono on the very end, on the very tip, I think, right there, but oh, there's gonna be the but no dice. 1 track onto Sexy Steve, and all of a sudden, all 5 Radiant Heroes are in bottom lane, and they can go ahead and take this tower in exchange for Oops Push on top, who has gone ahead and gone for Boots of Travel here. So question mark do still have a fairly large, nice little window, a fairly large window to pick up enough enough map control to prevent the Juggernaut from being ultra effective, since he does still have to be very afraid. And let's take a look here at Kunkka once again. 800 gold built up at this point, farming out bottom lane, but no hint of where he's going to go. Generally, I would expect a Blink, but he could be going 4-staff or BOTs. BOTs in particular would be okay because he has X, even though he's a support, but I seriously doubt that's actually what he's going to do. Nah, he's going Aether Lens. Okay, that makes sense. Meanwhile, GD Rune is pinged out at bottom. And we'll go ahead and take a look over here. How is the farm going for Keeper? He's the lowest net worth and has 500 in the bank. It looks like he is getting some of the vision along with Praise the Sun, who is getting the mechanism in this game. There's going to be an Astro in prison, looks like just onto a creep. Yep. And I hear fresh meat. There was a hook onto Lion, and he is already dead. Oops in the area, thinks he might want to try to go, but decides against it. But there's going to be the Chronosphere. Oops. Well, that's not really how time dilation works anymore. There's going to be the Torrent, but it's not going to hit because Faceless did back up early. And there comes the hook from max range. Omni Slash goes out in order to try to dodge the damage, and that was successful. The boat comes in, kills off one, stuns up bounty hunters long enough for a deafening blast to take a second one. Oops is tracked up. There's going to be another hook, but there is no dismember available, so Mr. Remember must blink away. And he blinks across the gap there in order to TP back home. So after a pair of lost heroes for question mark, they look like they're still going to go ahead and try to defend this mid tower. Oh my god, just a regular right click. But there is another hook from max range. Lala Time getting picked up hard line. and the Rot is able to take out the Invoker from the very max range. Moop, meanwhile, did just lose 2 spells. Blink forward and a hook once again. There's going to be the X on Cookie, but Mr. Member just going to go ahead and walk down Moop, who is unable to really get away and doesn't have his ultimate available. So 2-4-0 in favor of Question Mark at the not even high ground defense, although it felt like it from as far away as that hook was. Jesus. But really, it's just a defensive there at T2. Grip Game, meanwhile, standing at the sentry. That's really the only place he feels safe. I know the feel. But actually, Mr. Member blinks on him and starts rotting him. There's going to be an ult available if he chooses to go for it. And there's the hook. Very well done. Immediately, there's going to be the... Oh, he died to creeps, I think. Sexy Steve does get the torrent off, but it looks like Mr. Member is still going to try to get away. No, there's going to be the boat. But there's the blink! Sexy Steve not keeping him damaged with the control. And Sunstrike missing as well because that was a blink into the roast pit. Now all of Question Mark are in the area. It looks like they're just backing off for the moment. That was just a feint there by Mr. Cookie. And it looks now like RIP are the ones who want to start pushing in. Question Mark start TPing away to just go ahead and push other lanes and farm up the map. They're totally content to lose this bottom tier 2. Maybe. Looks like they do actually have some heroes in the area considering defending it. Or at least delaying while Faceless pushes in top. And yeah, they are going to totally defend this. They're actually going to recall the Faceless, I expect. So Mr. Member is going to go for this insane hooks. Once again. Just remember, searching for a hook around. It looks like Moop is going to go ahead and use his ult to get in onto Mr. November, who does not have his hook now that he's been silenced, but good right clicks out for more. He does get Astral Imprison out onto Moop. There's going to be the X used on him. He's going to get torrented up. And then Praise is done. Is going to get the track off as well as the Q. He does get dusted, but that's going to be it anyway. 2 heroes go down very quickly for Question Mark out of the Omni Slash, and the one from the boat. No heroes dead for RIP just yet. Still have hooks, though. And that hook, unfortunately, does just hit up a creep. Looks like, yeah, Oops is going to just force back Mr. November there by walking forward. However, that was enough time for Cookie to go ahead and get into. He's actually going to go on to Oops right here. There's another TP coming in, and that should be Cookie's signal to go ahead and move away. Lion does not have a Blink Dagger just yet, although Invoker has a Tornado. Doesn't really matter. He's able to hit Cookie now. He's going to be able to move himself into the trees and just get himself right away. Torrent goes out, but it's not soon enough.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Pudge, meanwhile, has another 2,600 gold saved up. We'll see what he wants to get here as he moves into the secret shop. Selling off a bottle and picking up a point booster, so he's going to go Ags in this instance. As though you wouldn't go Ags every instance, but you know, or at least most instances. Pudge currently. It is just such a fantastic upgrade. I believe it takes it from 360 to 420 in terms of damage. Scepter cooldown 4, and yeah, of course the cooldown goes from 11 to 4. Scepter damage 480 compared to 380. Okay. Plus the int bonus, of course. Rip Game, meanwhile, still down at 375 gold. Does have some smoke up and available, ready to go. And it looks like Monta Recipe is done for Juggernaut, who may very well have the rest of his item, the Manta, on the quarter over here. And yes, the rest of the Manta is on the quarter, particularly over here. And Boker, he has his Aghanim's finished on top of those drums, for which he's used all the charges. 2 TPs in as soon as they're called for by Invoker here at the T2. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and try to make a fight for this T1. Meanwhile, we look over to the left and we see Kunkka Illusion, or Pudge rather, Illusion, just sitting around at Ancients, looks like that was spotting out, or it looks like that did spot out the rotational bounty hunter who was not relying on there not being any vision there. Sentry is put up here, as well as an obs for RIP, and that'll allow them to have a good amount of map control in comparison to question mark when they do eventually make it into this fight. There's going to be a shuriken going out. No one dies just yet. It's a couple right clicks. That's going to be a dead invoker with the track gold. 3-man chrono. And there's going to be the Omni Slash on to Moore. He's going to end up dying. Uses his ult, but it's not enough to kill anybody. Lion is very close to dead. And it looks like Juggernaut is doing a lot of damage. Oh, he gets... Oh, man, he's able to just barely get... Oh, he just got a double kill with that. Oh, wait, no. That was Cookie up here, actually, using his Diffusal and Yasha to great effect on the back lines, while Juggernaut was fighting over here in the front. And looks like the tower is going to go down at this time in favor of question mark. One more off the map. Have all the outer towers at this point. I would say that RIP have the stronger classical late game, but question mark I think have the stronger high ground defense, which should allow them to be okay in this. Oh, just clipped by that Sunstrike. Barely. Rip game, meanwhile, headed back out into the world with his 600 gold. Take a look at last hits. We see 219 already for the Juggernaut, approaching that 10 CS per minute sort of landmark that so few players are able to do regularly. Well, depending on the hero at least. Naga, it can be done fairly easily, but any non-illusion, or no, any really long-lasting hero can have a lot of difficulty making that happen for themselves. So go ahead and set this pause out of the way. And actually we're already back in, so good to have that ready and moving along. Master 99 has picked up this bounty from over here in the top, and bottom goes to Bounty Hunter with that arcane. Here in Empress, just on a creep. And looks like in top lane we'll go ahead and see Force Staff coming out from Invoker. Doesn't want to get caught without any sort of mobility at this point. Meanwhile, Praise the Sun moving around has his Shuriken maxed at this point, but has not decided to go in on anybody. Oops, however, might be his target. Oh, Oops does get hooked, but that is going to be a blink away out of the hook for Pudge. Not confident in his ability to get the dismember off before Omni Slash came through. Track goes out onto Juggernaut, but I don't think it's really going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference. And we take a look over here. It looks like there's a smoke headed on the way for RIP. We're going to try to use that to get an advantage here in the next few minutes. They are on a bit of a timer. They do have a really good late game between Kunkka and Invoker, but I think they probably are going to want to go for the earlier timing. Well, they have Blink on Lion right now. That would be huge. But yeah, smoke is around, and that's going to be used now. And we'll see if they choose to go for Roche or choose to go for a couple of kills off this. And nobody's strong in minimap, so RD2L while the time is moving into the jungle. So yeah, this is going to be a kill seek smoke. Really going to depend on them getting the correct type of initiation here. They have to, if they're looking to get onto Cookie, they have to hex him and then keep him stunned up from that point forward. There's going to be the X going out of the Sexy Seed, but Cookie just catches them out, sees what's up, and ends up moving away. So, classic Dota 2 tactic, but unfortunate whiff on that smoke for RIP. Now I just remember hanging around just trying to get with me. Is there going to be any smokes available yet? Yes, there's still 2 smokes available, blink forward as well as another hook by Mr. Remember, and that's going to be, unfortunately for him, not going to last or anything, but Radiant or Dire are in the Roche pit at this point, and the scan goes out, but Lion saying just barely missing Lion on the one side outside the pit, and Kunkka on the other. So they're able to guard the pit and still look like they're not in it. So that's going to be the Roshan, picked up by Juggernaut here, and that should be the signal to go ahead and push either mid or top lane by RIP. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and take a look at what's being picked up. Looks like another Azure item. Excuse me. Diesel perhaps? Could be Aghanim's, but I doubt it. Let's just for you here. Yeah, it is a Diffusal, so 2 Diffusals on this team. Interesting choice. I am curious as to why. I know Diffusal is a good item and I absolutely love having it, but I'm a little curious as to why they thought this was the way to play it. Monster Diffusal can be very good. And the other one... Oh, the other one's on Void, so never mind. I am entirely wrong about everything, and they're not in competition. Well, they are in competition, but they're not, like, in an intra-team competition at all. Meanwhile, Stanley Cookie has come around into his next Ultimate Orb, which will be making a Lincoln's or a Scotty. Because it could be making a Silver Edge or Blade. Silver Edge, maybe? There's not really any. Oh no, it's not Silver Edge. They have a Bounty Hunter, so it's got to be like a Lincoln. Meanwhile, it looks like top lane Juggernaut Illusions are just pushing out the wave while Juggernaut farms up the jungle. Maybe he was hoping to get some short rotation for that or whatever, but I think he just wanted the extra gold. Our Rip team is about halfway to his Blink Dagger here now at Purdue Emit. However, as soon as he gets level 11 with that finger, once he kills an enemy hero, he's going to be rolling in the gold, so should be happy to go ahead and try for that. Only the one ward for each team appear in the Dire Jungle, so now they do finally see Rip move, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's the hook, doesn't really matter. He was spotted out already by this Dire ward, rather. That was set down just a few moments earlier. Yes. Or, no, a few moments later? Could be. Sexy Steve, meanwhile, has finished up his Aether Lens and starting to save up gold for his next bit of kit. And it looks like, yes, we do have the Aghanims coming out for the Night Stalker, so that is going to be the nighttime free vision. No smoke available, so unfortunately that gathering not really going to pay off very high dividends for RAP. But, oh, they do have a smoke actually, so. They have a smoke, they do still have Aegis? Yes, they do still have Aegis, so this is really an opportunity they don't want to make any mess out of. There is Dire Vision over in the forest, but with the smoke rating, you can just go ahead and move on through it, start getting an area of this T2 tower. Meanwhile, top lane is being de-pushed by 4 of the Radiant team, but mostly by the Coddle, because that is literally what he does. And it looks like there might be a rotation coming in onto Outworld Devourer, since there is no vision in the area to show that this would be happening. But OD just touch late, or not OD, but Coffee coming around to the side and looking just for a moment to see if there are any enemy heroes around, and then going ahead and finishing out the that camp. Meanwhile, Sunstrike goes through, doesn't hit. Lion just stacking up for his teammates, not really getting a whole lot of gold here on his own, but a little over halfway to Blink at this point. Meanwhile, RIP Oops is going to be picking up more and more creeps with that Battle Fury up to 341. So yes, he has met that 10 CS per minute metric at this moment. Basically right at this moment, actually. When I first mentioned he had 341. Standard Cookie over here has finished up his Lincolns, it looks like, and is just looking for an opportunity to use his Chronosphere, but those opportunities really are few and far between. Dire are not grouping up nearly enough for Cookie to be able to make a whole lot of great Chronosphere plays. We take a look down here at bottom. There's going to be the invisible bounty hunter that eventually will be shown to all. Looks like Oops just farming up has gotten his here Sunstrike. Over here. Over here. I don't know what the Sunstrike was. Might have been a creep camp or something. Spurrier is coming back. What is it now? A butterfly, which is already finished for the Juggernaut here at 35 minutes, and pushing actually up here into 11 minutes or 11 CS per minute, doing a very fantastic job on his farming speed and on his farming efficiency, like his actual patterns. There is an illusion rune up over here. And Rip Game just trying to cut off his camp. He's nearly finished his Blink Dagger, and this is going to be a huge game-changing item for him. Might be a little bit too late to be a game-changing item in general, but it just completely changes the way you play the hero, and you die so much less often once you have it. Or at least I do. So Juggernaut Illusions are farming up this creep wave over here. If you take a look over here at top, Standard Moore has picked up an Orchid and a BKB. So that'll be very useful against the heavy stuns out of Lion and the root out of Kunkka. You can take a look. Oh, there's going to be a blink forward as well as an ult on Delilah time. It only takes half damage. There's going to be the hook, but does miss out. X onto Mr. November, and he just waits for it and pushes 4 steps himself away. Meanwhile, there's an attempted a hook on the Moop, just barely catches him. That'll be the end of Moop's life for sure. OD getting that final last hit there. Looks like there might be another smoke coming out here for the Dire side just as they get it ready and finished off. And yes, that is a blink coming for the Lion. Looks like actually they decided not to do this smoke. Maybe they're waiting explicitly for that blink from Lion. Items. Yeah, I think so. There's another hook here, but unfortunately only onto an illusion. This tower, however, might end up going down. And yes, it is finished off. Meanwhile, though, bottom tower is being pushed just by the Invoker, and the Invoker... Wait, that was already gone. My bad. Yes? Yes. But Invoker is pushing out the bottom lane. And at this point, he does have his Force Stab and his Octarine. I expect he'll be working towards a upgraded Force Staff for 13 seconds. Not Dragon Lance, but Hurricane Pike. Meanwhile, Sexy Steve is just getting up all the vision right now. He did lay off on amassing his own gold with Lion on the docket for that. Meanwhile, Lala time is going to end up just throwing out a tornado to get some vision, and actually does catch out one hero. And there's going to be the Blink Hex out onto Mr. November. That is a track on Terrific Game, but now a finger on Mr. November, as well as a boat and a Sunstrike. And Mr. November does 4-step away, but it doesn't matter because all three of the Radiant heroes died to a Juggernaut Omni Slash. And now this tower is going to be taken down, it looks like. Buyback from the mana battery. And it looks like there is a fire alarm, so we will see Invoker back here in a few minutes. So not in the fight, Stand-in Cookie was top lane pushing in, and he's going to try to force some rotations back by RIP before losing too much of his mid T3, I expect. The T2 is just going to be gone at this point. And let's see what's coming out. Just an Oob coming out for the Juggernaut. Interesting decision. Certainly useful, but I would have gone. Oh, he's getting Scotty. Never mind. Full on Scotty. Just sending that to Secret Shop and probably spending all of his reliable. Yeah, that's like what's gonna happen here. So we just wait for this fire alarm to end, and we can go ahead and see if there's any hero progression items that I've missed. The Octarine I had missed originally. Let's Cookie picked up the Lincoln. Moore still has same BKB Orchid. Same amount of cash in the bank. Well, not quite the same. She had like 0 last time. And it looks like Master 99 is working towards his Zag. So he has finished his 4-staff and working towards his Zag. So that is the major itemization change in the last several minutes. And we shall simply wait for this pause to exit. There we go. Go ahead and take a look. They do have a smoke on their courier. What's down here? Oh yeah, same we already saw that. So overall, it looks like there's not really been a whole lot of item pressure on anyone. If there has been any on bounty, he has finished up his Greaves, which is always a really big step, even though you already have the Arcanes and the Mech. And Pudge does not have any new items, I'm pretty sure, although the 4-staff might be new. We can, while this is going on, go ahead and take a look at the effigies that are around. I don't know what I'm doing. Oops, playing on Rubik with, I have no idea what that animation is for. Praise the Sun by Meepo with the traditional Praise the Sun logo. And Walrus Punch by Sexy Steve in ice. Well, it is true to the source material, clearly. And go ahead and take a look elsewhere. Battle Cup Champion by Space Dandy, that's one that he has chosen. And Big Stony Dick by Master 99. And Stop Watching Me Poop Pervert by Cookie. I see inside of an Anchor Smash animation. Interesting. And an Anti-Mage with the stick blades for Mr. November. Then what a 5th one? Here we go. Titan Ina's Ravage. I'm coming by more. Alright, we should have Lala time back in the game very soon, hopefully. Wrong. This is the button that I want. The inverse bayonet. Okay, that's one that does that. With Merrick autographs. That's cool. And Rip Little Steve, or Lala Time rather, not Little Steve, has basically the same set I do. The Dark Cabal set with this, with the Cadenza Forge Spirit. I don't use the Cadenza. Oh, these are all Cadenza. Never mind. I was under the impression that these were the of the Dark Magic sets. What's Cookie got? Anything for this hero? He has the time, not the time mace, but the shitty common mace from ages and ages ago, where that was like one of the only items that dropped. Time Stopper, the Jewel of Aeons, and the Gauntlets of the Acolyte. What else we got? Bounty Hunter, who has a fairly standard set. Season, actually, amalgamation of pieces rather. Pangolins, Dark Tracer, Seasoned Veteran, Hunter's Bracer, Pangolin Carapace, Alden Assassin Glaive, and Calden Assassin Slicer. Hopefully this pause will be up fairly soon. Rip game, what do we got? Of course, the Immortal. Not much else, to be honest. A fairly barren line there. What do we got? Stavoker. Oh, Juggernaut, obviously. Juggernaut has like a million items. Does he have? He does not have the lightsaber. 444 CS though at 39 minutes. That's pretty fantastic, actually. Has the Odachi. Not really my favorite. Obviously I prefer the lightsaber. I mentioned before. Not the cat healing ward. And Night Stalker. Haven't done him yet. I don't think there's really. Oh, there are actually items for me. No. Oh right, the Immortal Wings, the Nihility Wings from TI 5 was 15, right? Yes, TI 5 was 15. The whole Nihility set. Alrighty then, we are ready to go ahead and get this back in on the way. So once we get this unpaused, we can see how this push is going to go. Well, not really a whole lot of seeing. The C2 is going to be dead almost certainly. Look at buybacks. We go ahead and see that those are not available for the 2 dead heroes of the Radiant. So this is definitely going to be 1 dead T2, very likely a dead T3. Question mark are gonna want to, if they are gonna hold here, they're gonna have to hold at the racks, not at the T3. I'm pretty sure. But they can just wipe, or they can just push out a wave like that, and if they can keep the waves down, they have a chance to make it work. There's gonna be one more blast coming in from Coddle. Open though does use his Q to finish off that tower, and that tower, the tower goes down, but it is overall a successful hold for question mark. And that is largely brought on by Cookie's Filet up here. It looks like he did get his TP cancelled as he was trying to get back, so he's going to have to move around just over by the wall, trying to keep himself away. Should be try switching here, I'd say, but he's able to get out actually. Nobody's looking for him, so now we do see the blink online. He saw him at the edge of his vision, I think. Nah, I did not. So checking inside, and overall, with the split push by Void, Radiant are able to hold their towers. So job there. Meanwhile, though, Oops is soloing up Roche. He doesn't even need to use his Mantis to tank. That is how strong he is at the moment. I mean, 28,000 or 29,000 other net worth at 41 minutes. Like, that's just a little ridiculous. He is 6 slotted. He still needs Hyperstone and level 2 BOTs, but no, I guess he's 3,500 gold away from being properly 6 slotted, and now he has an Aegis to go with it. Although he's not gonna pick up the Aegis, it looks like. Oh no, he will. What did he covered his BOTs for that? Interesting decision to get rid of BOTs there. There's gonna be the hook coming through, as well as the Omni Slash. Just starting out, Maester though is gonna tank a lot of it with that Ghost Scepter. Praise Sun taking a lot of damage here, and he is gonna end up dying. There's gonna be the Chronosphere though out on the Sexy Steve, the only one. Oh, there's gonna be the ult used by Moore, but still on the only one. So 2 ults down, and RIP are in retreat, but I'm pretty sure they have the tools to turn this around if they are given the opportunity, and they absolutely are. Juggernaut goes ahead and takes out. Oh, and the hook just misses. Goes ahead and takes out Caudle on the back line with the miss of the hook. That is going to force question marks go ahead and move back on their own. Volatile, meanwhile, healing up in Fountain for mana. Going ahead and heading out with BOTs of his own. Looks like Stand Cloud is just able to get Mop in the range of his W. But there's going to be 4 free hits. Doesn't matter. Just a spin onto Oops, but the spin is forced out very early. Hook does go wide right between 2 heroes. Cookie is stuck here inside of the illusions and the creeps from Oops. But Oops now is silenced, and there is... Oh man, that is going to be the end of the Faceless Void with the Ravage out from Lala time. Now there's going to be a silence as well as a Cold Snap onto Bounty Hunter, and he's going to end up going down. Are there buybacks? There is no buyback on either of those heroes. Only buyback on only buyback on OD rather. There's going to be the ult coming out from Mook to make sure that it's nighttime. But Mr. Remember is able to just pick up the Lion. He does get silenced, and he's able to just hammer him down, but that is going to mid-rack's death. 1 illusion picked off by a stray hook, and there's going to be the blinding light. So 3 heroes now. They're pulling him back, but Mr. Remember just walking away, trying to prevent damage, not really trying to hold on to any of those heroes. Hook there does go ahead and miss onto... Oh, there's the Omni Slash though onto 2 heroes. That's going to be the end of both the both the Caudle and the OD. Another hook out. Just Mr. Remember throwing out his hooks as much as he can, but unfortunately it just doesn't matter. As many hooks as he throws out, there's just so much sustain on the side of RIP. They do get a second set of racks. He's able to pick off with another hook on move, but now he's going to get torrented up. The gem does go down on the floor, and Mr. Remember does get X back, but he force taps forward at this point. However, there are still Juggernaut illusions taking out the tower and more. There is going to be a boat that just hits on Mr. Remember, but since that was an Astral Prison, he's able to blink away. X on to Praise the Sun, and it looks like the gem was picked up by Sexy Steve, who is going to go down here eventually, and yeah, there it is. Chronosphere comes out onto Oops, right clicks, might be enough to take him down. They're going to try really hard. He's very close, but now he's going to try to CP away. I think, oh, there's the bash to keep his CP from coming, but now Cookie, I don't know if he really wanted to bash there. He gets turned around with the Manta. Top lane's still alive, but only just here for the Dire side, and it looks like Mr. 99 is going to be hard-pressed to work along with more to keep this deep pushed. Rest of his team too, but those are the 2 that I think really have the best skills for it. And still just Orchid BKB. Outward Valor has had no item progression, or more rather has had no item progression in such a long time. He goes ahead and picks up Crystallis, deciding that is more important than his buyback. Actually no, he already used his buyback rather, so with that cooldown on the timer, goes and picks up the Crystallis to go ahead and get that Bloodthorn up. Ward's going down, and they do get pinged out. That is a hook onto Lala time. He does get Orchid up. He does have a Hex, but I don't think it really matters. He should... Oh, man. Just barely missed out on that Orchid. Hook goes out, does just miss the Lion as well, who is able to TP home. Mr. Remember not really expecting that Lion to be where he was there. He was trying to grab off the escaping Invoker. Does salve himself up in the fountain there? Nice, put me a buyback for that. Meanwhile, Moop, it looks like has picked up just a BKB. He didn't use it in the last fight. I think maybe he picked it up after the fight ended. That's why he has so much gold on top of it already. Juggernaut very quickly taking down the. Well, I forgot before he could get Diffusal too, but now he is entirely 6 slotted with those level 2 BOTs and the Moon Shard. So this is as peaked as Juggernaut gets. I mean, this is really the time to get that last Rax. I mean, you can get it really anytime, since your team, even though they're not, I don't think they scale quite as well as Question Mark 2, RIP, but, or rather, I don't think RIP scale quite as well as Question Mark 2, but it's definitely close. I will the Pudge and the Invoker. Maybe they do. It's really, actually, because of the Night Stalker, I'm going to say they definitely don't. There's the hook going out, Mission Remember getting that down. Invoker killing off Bounty Hunter with Sunstrike, perhaps. There's going to be a couple really quick right clicks onto Master 99, who doesn't quite die down. There's the buyback from Bounty Hunter and Astral Imprison out here on Oops. There's going to be the BKB blink or walk-in. Yeah, BKB walk-in by Night Stalker. More forced uses BKB in exchange, and now he's going to get caught in the mana burn. And he actually gets pushed into the torrent, which would have set him up for the boat, although he was able to force tap away. Turns around, gets his ult off onto more. There's going to be the Chronosphere onto 2, but I don't think it matters. There's a silence now, as well as the Q preventing any right clicks, or rather, providing mischance. And Pudge dying out here to Sunstrike. He buys back right away. No. Okay, there's a buyback on Void who has not died yet. Otherwise, no buybacks available on the Radiant team. Question mark. I have not called GG yet, so they might still feel like they can push this out. Cookie, though, just gets caught out here. He has the buyback, so this is the time to really make them delay from taking racks if you're able to do it. Buys back immediately. Is almost ready to go back in. However, the Ancient is dying very quickly, and he gets tornadoed up, and that is going to be the final right click onto the Ancient. That is GG. And in loving memory of Hyde, RIP are going to win this game. Well played by both teams, and very fun game to watch. Some great hooks out from Mission November. Couple weird pause there in the middle, but definitely still very much enjoyable. In general, I think really the biggest thing here, the biggest takeaway here for Question Mark is just sort of they missed their window. They missed their window. I think the early Coddle pick that was so easily countered up very late by the Night Stalker ended up really having a very adverse effect on their draft window in the first place. I think without that, they could have scaled further into the later game, but that's just where it went. GG to both teams. I'm going to hop out and see if there's another game in this series to cast, or if that'll be the end for the night. I have been Knifan. This has been the Reddit Dota 2 League. See you next time.